What up, dude? What up, dude? What up, dude? What up, dude? Welcome back. Welcome back. I told y'all I was coming back. So we are back. And we are gonna be doing a watch on to the Bobby Brown or Shannon Sharpe interview with Bobby Brown. And listen, I will tell y'all, I actually really did enjoy this interview because I am a Bobby Brown fan. And especially in these later years, he's been clean, he's healthy, he's all of the things. So I thought that the interview was good enough for me to do a live stream on. You guys can come and go as you please. I have sped it up just a little bit to give us, to kind of alleviate the time, because we will be over on the backup channel at 4:30 for our poly talk hour. Okay, so make sure that you guys hit the like button here. I see y'all, Mama V, Yvette Thomas, Moose Nux. Yes, I love Bobby Brown. Like, Bobby Brown is the ish. Okay, he is the ish. So we're gonna get into it. Let me share my screen. Let's see. All right, here we go. Again, this is fair use. We are doing this, this is research purposes, honey. All of the things. So it is definitely covered under the Copyright Act of 1976. Give me just a moment here. See. Okay, all right, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Copyright disclaimer. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All right, so we have fair use, Uncle Shay. And we're gonna, I'll stop in a little bit, give my opinion or whatever. But for the most part, I'm just gonna let it play through. And I'm gonna flash the thumbnail every now and then. So, all right, y'all ready? Hey, Miss LaQuanda, what's going on? Let's get into it, honey. I don't want to keep you guys too long. Hey, Natty, what's going on? All right, let me remove my thumbnail for a second. All right, y'all see Bobby there? Bobby and Uncle Shan. All right, let's see. All right, here we go, y'all. Let's go.
That's not bad at all. I mean, that's my first time having coffee, and I haven't having cognac. one of the most influential, well-loved, and compelling artists of all time, a music phenomenon, a megastar, the king of the stage. Here he is. It's my prerogative, Mr. Bobby Brown.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing, bro.
It's a pleasure.
Appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by, man.
Thanks for having me.
Rob, it is a true honor to have you on Club Shay Shay. Thank you so much for stopping by. And for today's toast, we did something a little special. We have what we call a brown Shay Martini. It's my cognac, Shay by LaPortier, and Bobby's coffee bean, correct?
Coffee beans, yes.
Coffee bean. I'm gonna try this out. I mean, yeah. You know who I needed here? I needed my my makeup artist, Brett. This is her favorite drink. Not even bad.
That's not bad at all.
I mean, that's my first time having coffee, and I haven't in cognac. So I'm gonna be a wide awake drunk tonight. So thank you, bro. Thanks for. So let me ask you a question. So where can people that are watching this, where can they get this from? You have a .com. It's
BobbyBrownFoods.com.
Okay.
We sell from seasonings to fried chicken mixes to coffee. It's just something me and my wife decided to do because all my friends used to love to come over my house and test my food.
Okay.
And they loved it. So, we decided to make, seasonings and different things like that.
So since you obviously music, and we're going to touch on that, but you decided to get into the food industry.
Yes.
What have you learned most about the food industry?
I've learned it's rough. It takes time. It takes time to get into all of the big stores. But when you have a good product like we have, all natural, gluten-free, less sodium than many of the seasonings that are out.
To answer that, Steph, I think he's past that place, right? I think he's past that place. He went for a long time without drinking alcohol. I think every now and then. Let's just say this. I don't think Shannon Sharpe would have gave that to Bobby, knowing Bobby would have had an issue with it. Does that make sense? I think that's something that they checked prior to them sitting down. I definitely believe that. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right. So before we get deep into the interview, give me 1 second. Let me show you guys his website. Let's see, and then we'll come right back to it. So here is his website, guys. So he has a lot over here on this website. All right, here we go. I'll make the screen bigger. So he has his own seasoning blends. An everyday or a Boston blend is what he has. All right, so he got an apron on there. He got the fry mix on here, some barbecue sauce, some hot sauce, some hot and spicy sauce, some Bobby original barbecue sauce. He got the seasonings with the apron. He got some other seasonings over here. All right, Bobby is out here doing the doggone thing. He got his own coffee. Okay, I ain't mad at you, Bobs. All right, that mushroom coffee, they say it is a little expensive, but they say it's good for you and stuff. So I did paste the link in the chat. So if you guys would like to support him in any type of way, listen, I'm not here to tell you what and what not to do. So his seasonings has lemon pepper, garlic powder, smoked paprika, everyday blend, and the Boston blend, which is actually really good. He got some recipes on here. All right. And he has some ambassadors working on it. Okay, so I didn't know that Chef Jennard, Chef Jennard. This is the chef that everybody be using in Atlanta just about. But this is him. So okay, y'all. So I just wanted to show y'all that really, really quick, and we're about to get back into it. Let's see.
We are a very health conscious line, and I think that's what makes us stand out from all of the rest.
So how long have you been in the food industry?
I've been in the food industry almost 5-6 years, around 6 years now.
Master P is always preaching about products as good business models. Why do you think this is? Why do you think the food industry is such a good business model to embark upon?
food is always needed.
Yeah.
Food is always needed by the masses, and especially when it's good. When it's good and it's healthy for you, I see nowhere to go wrong.
I heard you got a barbecue sauce and that is very good. Any new flavors?
We're working on some new flavors.
Okay.
I'm working on a teriyaki sauce that is amazing for kids, because my barbecue sauce is
a little spicy.
It's spicy, and kids, some kids can't take it.
Right.
My kids can take it, but some kids can't take it.
I heard you're a pretty good chef. What's Bobby Brown's signature dish?
My
so
signature,
you got the guys, we coming over, all of us coming out, you never met any of us, and we coming over. What's Bobby gonna prepare?
I do a shrimp a la Bobby.
I can't eat, I'm allergic to shellfish.
You
can't
give
you that information beforehand. So crab, lobster, shrimp, scallops, oysters.
You can't do it.
Can't do it.
I make a mean fried chicken.
Okay.
I make a mean spaghetti.
Okay.
Lasagna.
Okay.
There's a bunch of things I can cook other than seafood and fried chicken.
So what is Bobby's best dish? If somebody says, okay, Bobby, so you going on one of
now, Bobby is somebody I get in the kitchen with. Y'all always want me to get in the kitchen with Wanda. I would definitely get in the kitchen with Bobby. Like, I think that would be dope. Plus, I would like to know how he make his barbecue sauce. Yeah, the nosy part of me.
One of these shows, one of these cooking shows, and you got to make they're gonna say, hey, everybody gets to make their signature dish or what they feel they're most comfortable at. What's Bobby Brown's dish?
I'm cooking my fried chicken. I'm definitely cooking my fried chicken. My fried chicken is off the chain. Popeyes ain't got nothing on it.
Ain't got nothing on you?
KFC ain't got nothing on it. Nah, I got the remedy.
Do you cook every day or do you cook for special occasions?
I cook most of the days at home because I feed my kids. I have a 9 and 8 year old and a 15-year-old.
Okay.
And my wife. So I gotta be in that kitchen.
So how long have you, were you cooking as a little kid? Were you watching your mom? You watching your grandparents, your aunts? So how did Bobby get into cooking?
Cooking came about because I used to be on punishment all the time.
Okay.
All the time. So
I don't think many people gonna be surprised by that, Bobby.
All the time. But my mother used to make me sit in the kitchen with her while she cooked, while she prepared dinner for all 7 of us.
Okay.
And I used to just watch and help her out with the recipes. And I just developed a passion for it because after having children at an early age, you got to feed them.
Correct.
And that's the one thing that I appreciated about having children is that when you nurture them, you have to nurture them all the way around.
Right.
Mentally, physically, and food has just been something that I just love to do. I love to get in that kitchen and whip up things, and my kids appreciate it. They love being in there with me.
Cooking is also such a stress reliever as well. Like your nerves will be worked up because you done went to the store, you done bought all these things. What's going on, CC? Hey, everybody. Your nerves are worked up because you done went to the store and bought all these things. But cooking can be very therapeutic. It could be very it really can, because you got to think about it. It's a quiet time. It's a time for you to really be by yourself. Unless you got a whole bunch of people in the kitchen with you. But it's a time for you to be by yourself. It's a time for you to really be thinking about different things. You know what I mean? Like it really is therapeutic. I know a lot of people probably don't enjoy it because they feel like they don't know how to cook or that they can't cook. But I'm telling you, being in the kitchen, which is sometimes why I don't record my recipes, because I'm always so like my mind is on a total different realm when I'm cooking, because it's also a way of escaping. It's a way for me to calm my nerves down, for me to be I enjoy it. So I can understand where he's coming from with that. Bobby would be like, what language are you speaking, ma'am? Okay. Bobby and Wanda in the kitchen together will be a fool.
me, helping me out.
Okay.
So, it's just something that, I love to do.
Like when your mom, your grandma cooked, my grandma, my aunts cooked, they didn't have recipes. It was just all in their heads.
All up here.
Is that how you cook?
That's how I cook.
Okay.
I don't, measure it. I ain't got no measurements. I ain't got no measurements. Okay. It's just, I know how to season. Right. I know how much seasoning to put on on food. And it's all about the eye.
Mm-hmm. So when you're cooking, you're in the kitchen. What you listening to? Or do you even listen to music while you cooking?
I really don't listen to music at all at home.
Not at home. At home.
At home, my kids are into piano.
Okay.
All three of them, they play piano. My son's he's big time with plays and just different things like that, musicals. So I watch them and I just pay attention to what they're doing.
Right.
And I don't try to push my music on them too much.
Okay.
Because I'll be in there listening to Stevie and Otis Redding and people like that.
Do your kids know who you are? Not take Dad aside. Do they know Bobby Brown? I know they know Dad, but do they know Bobby?
They know Bobby. Okay. They definitely know Bobby.
Okay.
Yeah. They've watched. I allow them to see the programs that are meaningful.
Okay.
That have some substance to it.
Mm-hmm.
They come out to the concerts. So they get a good taste of what their father's all about.
Do you think your kids are going to follow in your footsteps? Or do you want them to follow in your footsteps?
Well, my little girl, she's 9 years old.
Okay.
She has a voice like an angel.
Wow.
And I am so impressed by her. Every time she opens her mouth, I just start crying.
Mm-hmm.
My son, he's so super talented. I believe he's going to win an Oscar one day.
Wow.
So, as far as following in my footprints, I have no problem with it. Their mother's a manager, so she can take care of the business and I'm there to lend my hand with getting them to the right places.
What is something that your fans don't know about Bobby? What's one thing they would be like, hey man, he does that, or he did this, or he likes that?
I'm quiet.
Really?
I'm very quiet.
Okay.
I'm very reserved. When
I'll be getting me quiet.
When it's time to talk, I'll talk. But for the most part, I'm gonna sit back and watch and observe, and see what the hell is going on first.
Let me ask you a question. Of all the songs that you've recorded, what do you think? My Prerogative, Mr. Telephone Man, Candy Girl, Every Little Step, Cool It Now, Ronnie, Don't Be. What's Bobby's favorite song?
Prerogative.
Prerogative.
Because I wrote it for myself.
Okay.
I wrote it, as an anthem and as a theme to my lifestyle and what I was all about. And that's basically the reason I think I'm still here 42 years later is, that I took what I felt about myself and I put it on wax.
Wow. What do you remember most when you're writing a song? So let me ask you a question. So you said My Prerogative is an anthem for Bobby Brown because I'm going to do things my way. I'm going to do things on my term. And if you don't like it, oh, well, go to hell. But this is so when you're writing a song, when you go into I don't know whether you're at your bed or you're in the kitchen table, when you go in to write a song, do you have a general idea of kind of the direction that you want to go in?
For the most part, we choose the music first.
Okay.
And once I get a groove in my head and once I get a melody going, there's no stopping it. It just starts pouring out.
Because I think Teddy Riley produced that, right?
Yes, Teddy Riley.
Okay, so you like Teddy, I got this idea. It's an anthem, it's an ode to me because y'all, they say I'm bad, they say I'm this and that. Well, I'm gonna show them why I'm this way. So what is Teddy's role in My Prerogative?
Teddy's role in My Prerogative was bringing that slamming ass track. That track was so beefy and so in your face that only something like My Prerogative could be said on that.
Correct.
Teddy's a great producer, great friend, and I'm really proud that we still have a friendship and we still have more music to do.
Okay,
we're not finished yet.
In the studio, what do you think your favorite moment is when you've been in the studio?
When I've been in the studio, my favorite moments are listening back to the finished product.
Okay,
when you finish a song and the song is completed and you have no more work to do on it, it's listening down and making sure everything is tight.
Did you know My Prerogative was going to do what it did?
I hoped.
Okay.
I hoped. But the track was so in your face and it was undeniable as a record. We really hoped that track was going to make this album, the Don't Be Cruel album, the most popular album of
and
it did.
Because when you hear My Prerogative, that means I'm gonna do whatever my prerogative is. I'm gonna do it the way I want to do it.
Right.
Now you do what you want to do. I don't care. And if you got a problem with it, this is my prerogative. Because you can't. And he says, I think at the end you said, I made this track. You didn't.
I made this money. You didn't.
Right. So you was doing what you wanted to do. If I wanted to go buy 3 cars, I'm gonna buy 3 cars. If I want to buy 4 houses, I'm gonna buy 4 houses. That's my prerogative. And then everybody started saying it.
Yeah.
Is that what you'd hope?
I hoped for it. Just recently at the Super Bowl,
right?
The Eagles,
right?
Coach said that they listened to My Prerogative before they went out,
right?
And that just took me back because it was about it's
My Prerogative. Listen, Prerogative really did a thing. It really did a thing. I think all of us that are in here, especially if you're a Bobby Brown fan, My Prerogative really did it. It did it. It did it. That's it. That's all. It did it. Y'all, please make sure y'all hit that like button. I've also put Bobby Brown's website in the chat, and I also put the Club Shay Shay interview link in the chat as well.
It's about the underdog,
right?
You know, and overcoming what or any adversities that there is, you know, any challenges, you just give your all, you know, you give your all and you basically just take what is yours.
Right. Is there a song that you made that you like, I mean, I like it, and it was like, it blew up?
Probably Every Little Step.
Really?
Every Little Step or Don't Be Cruel. I did not like the songs. I didn't want to record the songs. But LA and Babyface were like, dude, these records are going to be smash hits. And I was just like, you know what? Well, let's do them. But I don't know if, you know, they're going to be singles.
I just want you to know, if they don't hit, I'm going to tell everybody y'all wanted to make this. I ain't want no part of this. So you like, I don't know, LA, but they're hit makers.
They're hit makers.
Do you have to do you always have to trust those guys, or do sometimes you go with your instincts like, nah?
I trusted my producers.
Okay.
Because, you know, they have what I call this the ear. They have the ear to hear what I can't hear.
Okay.
And that's why I trust them, and I love working with all of them. You know, it's a lonely road, you know, when you don't at least try to trust somebody else,
right?
You know, to bring you to the brink of, you know, success.
Is that a prerequisite that you have to have a relationship with the producer, that you need to be close, that you need to trust him or her, that's going to be in your ear, that's going to be the ear that you can't hear with?
Yes.
Do you have to trust that individual?
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Are you surprised that the songs that you sang 30 years ago, 35 years ago, are still being played today and they're so popular?
Very surprised. After 42 years in this industry, we haven't put out a record in probably 10 of those years. And we're still touring. We're still keeping up with, you know, our fan base. Our fan base is probably one of the strongest fan bases that any group or any individual can have.
Very true.
The any for lifers, they keep coming back. They keep coming back. They keep coming back to every show. I mean, they helped us sell out the last 2 years here in the States.
Wow.
With the Legacy Tour and the Culture Tour.
Mm-hmm.
And they've come to Vegas and sold those shows out. So it's been wonderful to have fans like that.
When someone comes to you and wants to sample your music, talking to LL says, I don't let anybody sample it before I hear what they're actually putting on my over my track. So when someone comes to Bobby and said, hey, Mr. Brown, we really would like to sample this song, do you need to hear it or do you just
Yes, I gotta hear it. Gotta hear it.
You gonna put the bull job on it?
You don't know what these kids will say these days.
I don't blame them on that. Like, you have to put a bull pucky on my original song. Okay, don't play with me. Yes, I need to hear exactly what you're getting ready to put out. Now, again, if you sample my song, it ain't no reason for you to feel no type of way. You should be able to play what you finna get ready to do.
These kids will say something that you don't want your song
associated with. Yes.
So yeah, you got to listen to it.
Who do you believe sample one of your songs the best?
I don't think they did justice.
Okay.
I don't think they really did justice to any of the samples that they have done to my songs. Like Britney Spears butchered. She butchered Prerogative.
Oh.
Teddy Riley produced it, but that was a butchering that I couldn't take it.
But you cleared it.
I cleared it only because it was Britney Spears, and I was thinking
she gonna do it right. She gonna do it good. Yeah. Nice.
Teddy Riley's doing it too.
Yeah.
So but I felt it was a butchering.
You've heard of speed dating, right? You meet a bunch of people in one go, quickly making connections. Well,
what all of
who's on G2?
I was fearless. I had nobody to look. I was fearless.
Shay. Zip intro. Host jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Why do you believe you were such a trendsetter in the 80s and 90s?
Because I was fearless. I had nobody to look at in competition with.
Okay.
I believe there was Michael, there was Prince, and all I was trying to do was be the best artist that I could possibly be. Mm-hmm. So I mixed up Michael, Prince, Rick James, and Stevie Wonder, and tried to be what all of them were not.
Right.
And that became Bobby Brown.
You popularized the Roger Rabbit dance, the Running Man, the high top fade that slanted to the direction. What made you cut your hair like that? What made you like, I'm gonna do this?
That was a mistake. That was a mistake.
The barber F you up?
The barber F me up, and I had to shoot a video, and it just, it stuck. It just stuck.
And people actually went and got their hair cut like that.
I know. Let me tell you a story. I went to the late great Quincy Jones's house.
Okay.
One time, and I'm looking at all the photos in his house, and he's talking to me and he's giving me advice. And I see this one picture where this old guy had the slanted hair. And I was like, yo, so man got my hair cut. He was like, that picture is 40-something years old, and that's my grandfather.
Wow.
And his grandfather had a Gumby. And I was just like, wow. Gumby was around before.
Yes.
So I wasn't the first one to do it, but I was the first one to bring something back to our culture that was about us, and about our individuality, how we are trendsetters.
Right.
And I was just proud. I was just really proud that that I had a haircut like somebody else back in the days, you know.
You mentioned like you took a little bit from Prince, you took a little bit from Michael Jackson, you took a little bit from Stevie Wonder, you took a little bit from Rick James. So that was your source of inspiration, but you're kind of more Rick James because you was labeled a bad boy, Bobby.
Right.
Was that an accident? Was that on purpose? You needed something to make Bobby stand out. Why did you adopt that personality? Or is that who you really are? That was
really who I am on stage.
Okay.
On stage, I do not discriminate with what I do. I try to give the best concert I could possibly give. I try to give all of the energy that I have stored up in my body. That came from watching Rick James on stage.
Yeah.
When New Edition was on the Cold Blooded tour, opening up for Rick James, he would have me watch his show every night. Every night he would just say, stand on the side of the stage and watch my show. Don't say nothing about it, just watch my show. And he never knew I was going to go solo, but he felt that I think that I was, I admired him so much. I admired his music so much. He wanted me to experience what a live performance really is about.
Right.
And it's about giving your all, give blood, sweat, and tears out there.
You got to entertain.
You got to
just sing the song, but you got to entertain that audience.
Entertain that audience and keep their attention.
Right.
And that was one thing about Rick that he never slacked off about. You know, it was always about entertaining the audience.
Bobby, you had the MC Hammer pants first. Now Hammer gets credit for them, but you were wearing Hammer's.
Yeah. He asked me to actually wear them.
Oh, did he?
He actually asked me to wear them, and I was like, yeah, man, they're pants. I got the pants from New Edition.
Right.
So New Edition wore them before I did, and then I wore them, and then Hammer wore them.
Right.
And it was just about fashion. It was just about keeping a trend going.
Right.
And I'm proud of that.
When you see people bring back trends, what do you think? Because a lot of things it seem like, you remember you and I think we're pretty much close in age. I'm about to be 57.
I'm 56. I just turned 56.
Okay. You remember bell bottoms?
Bell bottoms.
Okay. Then they went to the skinny jeans. Now they back to the bell bottoms.
Yes.
Everybody, the oversized suit. They're back to the oversized suits. When you see trends,
Unc actually fit his name. I ain't know Shannon Sharpe was 57 years old. And now that I ain't gonna hold y'all on. And also, Bobby look good to be 56. All the that he done been through, Bobby look good. Bobby look good. Okay, Bobby, I love you. Sit down, Miss Houston. It ain't gonna hurt nobody. Just get on down. Sorry.
come back in. Does that make you smile? Like
that really makes me feel a little bit older than than I actually am. You know, I don't want to ever feel like I'm getting old or
right,
getting out of touch with, you know, anything my children might be
right
getting into, you know. But when they come back around, you know, I get a chance to tell my kids, listen, we used to
way back before
we used to wear our pants just like that. You know, the skinny jeans, I don't know where that came from, but that is something that was just not, we never wore skinny jeans.
No, exactly.
You know, growing up when I grew up, skinny jeans was a fad that hopefully doesn't come back.
We don't want that to come, you don't want that to
we
come
don't
back.
want that to come back no time soon.
Okay, what trend would you like to see come back?
But we still got the afro.
Yeah,
I'm loving the afro.
They don't rock it as much. I mean,
they don't rock it as much. They rock the braids,
the twist.
Yeah, there's a lot of, you know, dreads out there now. Unfortunately, you know, I can't grow all my hair back. There's some spots that won't grow.
Oh, but you could grow some hair. I mean, you got.
I can grow hair.
It'll be splotchy.
It'll have a spot right here.
Okay.
And that is not a hairstyle that, you know, I want to, you know,
okay,
people to follow.
Right. is it true that you taught Michael Jackson how to moonwalk?
Sideways.
Okay.
Sideways, not
the backwards.
Not the back one.
But you go
sideways.
Right. So how did you teach him? So you went over to his house, or
we went over to his house,
okay,
and we were doing it in front of him, New Edition. And
right.
I don't know if he already knew how to do it, but right. I know that when we showed him, he was flabbergasted. Right. He was like, wow, that's something new.
Right. So he put it in his thing and just
he perfected it.
It was over.
It was over. He took it and perfected it.
What's your best memory of Michael?
My best memory of Michael is how kind and how just how kind he was as a man. Mm-hmm. You really don't find people like that anymore. Michael was somebody that trusted and believed in Jehovah. Mm-hmm. Michael was somebody that trusted and believed in what he was about as a man, mm-hmm. what he was about as an entertainer. He knew how special he was. And that impressed me, right. You know, it always has impressed me.
Right. There's always a debate. Who's the closest in your time? Who is the closest thing to Michael since Michael? You know, you hear Chris Brown, you hear Usher.
I would go with Chris Brown.
Really?
I would go with Chris Brown.
Because of the dancing and the singing aspect
Chris
of it?
Brown is a dancer, singer, slash great entertainer.
Right, okay.
He goes out there and he does the ultimate stuff on stage, and you just have to love it. Usher's also a great entertainer, but I gotta go with Chris on being as close to Michael as.
Some of y'all ain't gonna like this. Sorry, y'all had to turn my massage off. Some of y'all ain't gonna like this, but I absolutely agree with Bobby Brown about the Chris Brown thing. I do. Love Usher down. Okay, Usher is very talented. But the closest thing, if 2025, I absolutely agree. I agree. All right, let's keep going.
As anybody could ever get,
and it was great to see Breezy at the Grammy get to win that.
Finally,
to finally get his due. Long overdue, but hey, right on time.
Yes.
Usher said he looked up to you.
Yeah,
because you kind of related to you in the industry more than anyone else. When you hear one of this generation's great performers, one of the great R&B singers says that, you know, Bobby was kind of the muse that I used to kind of develop what I did. How did that make you feel?
Makes me feel great because he's a great entertainer. I've known Usher since he was 12,
right?
11, 12 years old. And just seeing his growth in the industry and seeing how well he holds himself up, how well he takes care of his business. I'm really proud of him.
Do you remember the first time? Did he come to your show? Was it an arranged meeting? Do you remember? You said you've known him since he was 12. How did that meeting happen?
I had a security guard who found Usher, and he brought him to the shows.
Okay,
he brought him to the studios. I had a studio in Atlanta, Georgia, and he just was always around.
Okay.
He brought him to be around me and to learn what this thing of ours is all about.
Right. Which new artist does Bobby listen to today? Is there anybody that you know, like, man, I really like he or her? You like, I mean, I like this sound. I like the way they do what they do.
I love all of the females, the new females that's out there right now. Jasmine Sullivan,
yes,
and all of them. SZA,
yeah. Him.
I love Anthony Hamilton is probably one of my favorite artists out there right now. Mm-hmm. As far as soul and R&B is concerned, he's definitely keeping it alive.
I mean, Tim's, not him.
Tim's, yeah.
I love, man, she's amazing.
Yeah.
She is absolutely amazing. R&B, we get this a lot. I asked Usher this. I've asked a lot of people that's appeared on Club Shay Shay. Is R&B dead?
No. R&B is never gonna die. R&B is something that it's made up of what they call popular music.
Okay. So it's been interwoven. It's not dead. It's just been interwoven in a lot of different things.
A lot of different things. You have Bruno Mars, who's keeping the R&B New Jack sound alive.
Yes.
Which is great for anybody who loves that style of music. That style of music will never die. It will never die.
Who's some of the, you mentioned, like, are there any guys that you like? You mentioned like Jasmine Sullivan, you mentioned like Tim, you mentioned some of the females. Other than Anthony Hamilton, who is your R&B guys?
I like Chris, I like Usher. There's a lot of them out there, a lot of new cats out there that I can't, figure their names out, but a lot of new songs that are out there that are really R&B orientated really impress me.
Who's the king of R&B?
If you really think about it, though, there aren't as many. Now, I get it. I mean, I think now you have a lot of young people, a lot of young men who are in R&B. You have Avery Wilson, Duran. You have, there are young people out here who are still doing it. But I would have a hard time, if I was Bobby Brown, I would have a hard time answering that question too, because it's more women out here in the R&B thing than there are men. At least from the outside looking in, there's a lot more women, I think. You got Coco Brown, you got Jasmine Sullivan. I mean, Coco Brown, Lord have mercy. Coco Jones, where I get Brown from? You got Coco Jones, you have Jasmine Sullivan, you have SZA, you have what's the name? She just put out a new single. Ari Lennox, you have it's so many to name. But I feel like back then, with the groups and everything like that, it was easier to name. But there are more women now in R&B than there are men. That's for sure. All right. He said, who is the king of R&B is what Shannon Sharpe said. So let's keep it.
Who's the king of R&B?
King of R&B.
I don't know.
So
it's a big question.
It is.
Who's the king of R&B?
Well, how about this here? Give me your Mount Rushmore. If you got 4 people to put on this mountain, are your 4 greatest, or Bobby Brown's 4 greatest R&B singers, who faces you putting on that mountain?
Damn. You're calling me out right now.
I know one's gonna be up there, Marvin Gaye. You're gonna put Marvin up there.
Marvin is definitely up there. Prince is definitely up there.
Okay.
Michael's definitely up there. Stevie Wonder is definitely up there.
You ain't got no more. You got no more room.
You ain't got no more room.
No more room. I'm sorry. We have no more vacancies up here. Let me ask you this: streaming. That seems to be a lot. Because Bobby, when you first started, it was all the hard copies. You went to the store and you waited in line and you couldn't wait to buy that, that 45 or the 30 or whatever you're gonna buy. You couldn't wait to get that actual copy of the vinyl.
Right.
Now it's not so much like that. Streaming is kind of where it is now. What are your thoughts on streaming?
Streaming is something that basically has stretched the game out.
Okay.
The game is not the same anymore. You can't sell records. So the artist doesn't get paid as much as they are supposed to.
Okay.
Streaming is basically a robbery of selling records. It's
stealing somebody's intellectual property, huh?
You're stealing it, and it's not something that I look at to be something for the future. I think the future should have, because when you buy an album, you get to look at that album, you get to read who's done what on the album.
Yep.
You get the pictures, you get all of this great information when you look at an album cover.
Correct.
And
you get to
streaming, you actually get to hold it. It's yours.
Yes.
And now you know.
Do you have a vinyl collection? Did you keep all those albums that you collected that back in the day? Do you have them all?
I don't have them all.
You let them go?
I let them go. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. I don't know how I did it.
Right.
You know, just leaving certain situations and leaving stuff here and then leaving stuff here.
Somebody out there got Bobby Brown's
somebody's
vinyl
got
collection.
my vinyl collection and I want it back. I ain't playing. I want my back.
Bobby used to sell 12 million physical copies.
Yes.
12 million albums. Physical. People went into the line or they ordered or however they got it, but they got that many copies. Do you think we'll ever see someone sell that many physical records again?
I would hope so. I would really hope so. If they bring vinyl back, you know, if they find a different way to sell albums, I would hope so, you know, because it's a lot of people out there that listen to music that can't speak the language. You know, they learn how to speak English by listening to music. And those people need albums. They need the actual physical album to be able to do that.
You mentioned earlier that streaming has cut some of the process. So walk us through. So like if you were, let's just say for the sake of argument, if streaming was available back then and you record all these songs, obviously, you probably wasn't independent. I forget what label you're on. So the record company would take it to the streaming service and they would play it? Because how does that work?
I tell you the truth, I don't know how streaming works these days because I'm so out of the loop of, you know, putting out records. That, you know, my past record label was MCA Records, Universal.
Right.
And they still have a stronghold on what the industry is about right now. They still have a stronghold on it. But I just like to see the artists get their just dues, you know, get the monies that they deserve to receive for making this music and selling this music to the people.
I mean, you get a little change. I mean, your stuff is streaming. I mean, they can go on and listen to Don't Be Cruel and My Prerogative and all that stuff. So
I still get a check. I still get checks.
It's a nice little check.
It's nice little checks. I'm living.
If a new artist came to you for advice, what's the first thing you tell them?
Tell them to always practice on their craft. Always rehearse. Always hold yourself accountable for performing for people. The stage is everything. It allows you to have the longevity in this industry when you're a great performer. Now, I don't care how many records you've sold. If you can't perform on stage, perform live, there's no reason for you to be in this industry.
Wow. As a kid star, growing up in Boston, become this mega star, come into this large sum of money, more money than you thought you could ever do. How difficult was it for you to stay grounded and not lose sight of who Bobby was?
My mother and my father.
Okay.
They told me I was never too big to get an ass whooping.
You're like, but Mom, Dad, I'm making all this bread.
Yeah,
you can't be somebody that's making this money.
Nah, I was never too old to, take an ass whooping or give one out. No, it just to me, this is entertainment, and I hold that to heart. I hold that dearly. It's about performing for people, and it's about making the money and not letting the money make you.
How difficult was it to be famous at a young age? Did you change, or did the surroundings
around you change?
Oh, okay.
People around you change a lot.
They view you differently. They expect
things from you. They expect you to do things for them that you wouldn't normally do for a person. They expect if you're the one with the money, they are your friends, so they should, you know, benefit also. And you know, I still have the same friends that I had back in the days, because my friends always kept me grounded.
Mhm.
They always made sure that I remembered who I was and remember who I am as a person.
How was family?
Family is family something else. Family is definitely something else.
I mean, was it hard for you to tell family no?
It still is.
Really?
It still is.
Because being a professional ex-professional athlete and having some success and being in media space, it's always a situation like when you come into something, it's we. But when we lose something, it's you.
It's me.
Man, we rich. He broke. Whoa, aren't we all broke? So it was we when we had money.
Right.
I'm broke now. It's just me. So your family come to you because it's like, now all of a sudden they see Bobby with a new car. They need a new car.
Right.
They see Bobby with a nice watch. They want to watch. They see Bobby got a new home. But hey,
where's mine?
So how do you? Because you look.
In the beginning, I would give my family everything.
Really?
I mean, everything. You know, from houses to cars to jewelry to money. You know, and as I grew up, I learned that I have a family. I have kids. I have a wife. You know, that I have to take care of.
Correct.
And some things have to stay that way. You know, you can't give what you ain't got to everybody. You know, you have to, you know, make sure you take care of home first.
And it is hard for family to understand.
And it's hard for family to understand
that. But Bobby, we family. Bro, I was with you when you ain't have nothing.
And you
remember you used to come to my house and eat them syrup sandwiches, them mayonnaise sandwiches? That should be worth about 50 grand. Because it's funny though, but in all honesty, is that people did for you, like now we owe them something. Okay, bro, I had a meal at your house. Is that worth $25,000? Damn.
Can I cook for you also? Let me cook a meal for you.
That's payback?
That's payback. Payback enough.
Here's something special for you. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins.
I saw a lot of it.
Growing up in Boston, become this megastar. So how do you? Because you look
in the beginning, I would give
counts. Download the DraftKings Sport. Let me ask you this: when you sold 12 million hard copies, how much money did you actually see from that?
I saw a lot of it. I saw a lot of it. Because my deal was situated in a way where I made, you know, money, dollars on each record.
Okay.
So
okay.
Not pennies. So for me, you know, the way my mother had it structured, and the way my management made it so that I saw a lot of the money. I still see checks, you know.
Do you still see your check, Bob?
I still see checks. So, you know, it's not like the money is gone.
Right.
It's still in a way where I feel like my best years are yet to come.
Is that why it's so important for artists to keep their masters, to keep their catalog?
Yes. You have to. If after first 35 years, I obtained my masters.
Okay.
So now I own my own masters, and I can do what I want to do with my music.
Would you ever consider selling it?
No time soon.
You're like, hell, I just got it back. I ain't trying to get up off it.
I ain't trying to get up off of it at all.
Like, if you had to guess, what songs do you think says, okay, they put the most money in the bank account. They make sure that the wife and the kids, that we gonna be good.
Which song?
What song you think pays you the most?
I think the Don't Be Cruel album, period. Because we had 6, 7 singles off of that album.
Right.
That whole album pays me enough to live.
Wow.
Today.
That's nice. With a wife and 3 kids?
With a wife and 3 kids.
That ain't bad living.
5 kids.
Oh, my bad. 5 kids. That ain't bad living, Bob.
Yeah. 3 grandchildren.
Wow.
Yeah.
What have you learned when it comes to the music industry and contracts?
You got to be careful.
They'll get you?
They get you. Have a great lawyer. Always have a lawyer look at all your contracts. It doesn't matter what you have to pay that lawyer. As long as that lawyer is doing his job, it'd be worth it to let a lawyer look at it.
If you can go back and re-sign a contract, what would you do over it? So you're here you are now, 56 years of age. If I could transport you back 42 years, what would you do different?
I'd be independent.
From the jump?
From the jump. From the jump. I would bust my ass every concert, every promotional thing that I had to do to make sure that I sold the records and performed at my best ability.
Is it a situation when you do an album, how long after you do an album do you think about, okay, I got the tour?
Right away. Right away.
So what's common? When do most albums drop, or is there a set time in which albums drop?
Nowadays, albums drop. People drop albums every 6 months.
Okay.
I dropped the album every 3 years. And it was just like, because we were touring so much.
Drop the album. And so now
we tour for the next 3 years.
Wow.
That's what we did on the Don't Be Cruel. That's what we did on the Bobby Brown, the Bobby album. We toured. We just toured and toured all around the world.
Do you think back on some of the contracts that you signed and some of the money that you left on the table? You're like, damn, what the hell was I thinking?
Yeah. It was a lot of money left. There's a lot of money left.
New Edition first deal. Is it true you guys only made $500 at a VCR with the New Edition before he went solo?
Yes.
$500 at a VCR?
$500 in the VCR.
That's all you got?
And our royalty was like $1.68. Our royalty check was like $1.68. But we got $500 to sign and a VCR. Well, it was a Betamax at the time.
So which one of you guys were the lawyer?
Neither one of us was good at being a lawyer.
So you guys got raked across the coal on that first contract.
We got raked. We didn't know anything about it. All we wanted to do was perform.
Right.
All we wanted to do was make enough money to go to the movies, buy candy.
Right.
Date girls. That's all we thought about. We wasn't thinking about the
you didn't
longevity.
realize how much money was at stake.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
You were said we were treated like little slaves. Why do you think that?
We worked all the time and didn't get paid. New Edition, I think right now we're at our best time because we're together as brothers.
Right.
And we fought a lot growing up. But we're together as brothers. We pray together. We eat together. We sleep together. As far as, we stay in the same building. When we're in the same buildings, you can't touch us.
Wow.
That's the super group.
You had a family. It was family members that actually did the contract the first time around. You still have family doing anything for your contract?
No. Unfortunately not. My brother is still in my life, will always be in my life, but I found that me handling my own stuff, my wife with my lawyer is a lot easier to deal with than, having, to put that pressure on him.
Some people say you can do it. A lot of people say you can't mix business and family.
Right.
Have you found that it's really, because at the end of that's my brother. I don't want my brother to lose his job, but my brother ain't doing the damn job good enough to keep the job. It's as simple as that. This ain't, bro. You still gonna be my brother
forever.
But bro,
there's just certain things that you can't depend on family members to do.
Right.
But you have to, still love them the same, and always be there for them.
If I ask you to put a dollar amount on how much money you guys think you lost with that first album, considering that you was making $500 in a VCR and you got a $1.68 royalty, how much money you think you guys missed out on, Bobby? 20 million, 30 million?
30 to 40 million a piece.
Wow.
We should have been making that amount of money a piece. New Edition.
Wow. You guys have this run, a group. Do you ever think, before we get into New Edition, do you ever think we'll see a group again? Like New Edition, like we saw New Kids on the Block, we saw NSYNC. It used to be groups.
Right.
Do you ever think we'll see that again, Bobby?
I hope, because, it's an art form that is filled with passion, brotherhood. It's like playing a game of football. You have to depend on each one of the players
to do
their job in order for you to be successful. And I hope that we see groups come back, bands come back.
How you guys? You went solo first.
I went solo first, yeah.
Because you guys grew up in the same area, you knew each other.
Yes.
So it wasn't like, okay, we got an audition and we're gonna find out who can do this and who can do that. You guys knew each other
right
from the jump. So you already had that kind of bond. What started to happen to make you decide, I think I need to step out and do my own thing?
I was just tired of the bubblegum experience, you wanted
to be a little bit more hardcore.
I wanted to be more hardcore, but I wanted more control over what I did.
Okay.
The songs that I sang, the clothes that I wore. I wanted to have more control. And thank God that I got kicked out of the group at that time.
They kicked you out?
They kicked me out of the group.
So
I was voted out of the group.
So when you found out, hold on, did they find out that you were going solo? Is that why they kicked you out before you actually wanted to exit, or how did this happen?
No, I was kicked out first, and then they found out that I was doing a solo album.
Why they kick you out?
I was just doing the wrong.
So you had a little something to do with that, huh?
I had a lot to do with it.
You had a lot to do with it.
I had a lot to do with it.
So they voted. So did anybody vote to keep you in? Or they all was it unanimous, Bobby gotta go?
I don't know. I think from what I heard, there was 1 against 4.
Damn.
1 against 3.
Right.
That wanted me to
remain.
To remain.
Did you have a conversation? Like, hold on, guys. Look, check this out.
I didn't get a chance to have a conversation.
You didn't?
No.
They didn't even give you that courtesy, Bobby?
No. But these are my brothers.
I know.
These are my brothers.
You guys have been able to come back together.
Yes. And our relationships are stronger than ever.
Did you hope for this moment?
Yes. Yeah. Once I was out of the group and I found a little success, and I found a different way of doing things, and I was successful at doing it that way, doing it my way. I wanted them to know that they could do it in that same form and make more money, doing it that way.
Well, then kind of like, I think Ralph was probably the next one that go solo, right?
No, it was BBD.
Okay.
BBD.
Okay. Right. They went, and then Ralph.
And then Ralph, and then, of course, Johnny was already
solo. So Johnny came once you left. So Johnny was what replaced you.
No, Johnny was supposed to replace Ralph because Ralph was going solo.
Okay.
So Johnny was put in the group to give the group a new sound.
Okay.
And then Belle Biv DeVoe went up the charts and blew up. And the group just, it was about pieces. And then once we figured it out, that we have all of these pieces that we can bring back together and form this super group. Why not do it?
Why do you think it's so hard for or so difficult for groups that break up? I mean, you see some groups that never broke up, Earth, Wind and Fire, Ohio Player, Break, Barcase, things like that stay together, right. and they still touring 40, 50 years later. But a lot of times when groups break up, if they ever break up, they don't get back together. Why do you think that is?
They have no, I don't think they pray enough together. That's the one thing New Edition does. We pray together, we love each other enough to put up with each other's, and put it to the side when it's time to put it to the side. When it's time to work, New Edition will be at the front line, ready to do it, ready to get it on, ready to give the audience what they deserve. And I love that about us.
Looking back, if Bobby could do anything different, what would he do different?
Oh boy, I wouldn't have spent so much money so quick. I mean, I wouldn't buy as many cars and leave them on the side of the road. I would buy cars in each city that I went in. Like if I saw somebody driving down the street in a nice car and I'm on the tour bus and we're in that town for the day,
yeah,
I would ask the person to buy if I could buy their car. And then
so you bought the person's car.
Bought the person's car and would leave it at the airport or leave it at the side of the road or leave it at a hotel.
What the hell wrong with you?
I don't know. I don't know what was wrong with me.
So somebody got a car. Somebody got a car like, oh well.
It was just a car. But I would not have done that in my right state of mind.
So your financial people like, Bobby, you got to stop this. Your mom, your dad, well, like you said, it was your prerogative. Did you, Bobby, you do realize this isn't normal.
I know.
I understand. If you wanted to buy a car, say, man, I really like this car. I'm in this time. I'm going to get this car. Hey, ship this car to Boston or ship this car here. How you buy a car?
I wasn't thinking like that. I don't know. Y'all
heard this man? This man said he would literally buy a car, drive it, leave it side the road, or leave it parked at the airport.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
I wouldn't do that now.
Nah, I know your wife ain't gonna go for that.
No, she ain't. No, she ain't.
The NBA 82 game grind is done, and now the real fun begins. The 1-800-GAMBLE.
Destiny's Child, Jagged Brothers.
8 hours after it.
Four. You get four again. Just four. Mount Rushmore groups. So you got Jackson 5, New Edition, Isley Brothers, Temptation, Boyz II Men, Earth, Wind and Fire, Four Top.
You just named them all.
No, we got Kool in the Game, SWV, Druid Hills, Jodeci, Destiny's Child, Jagged Edge, Tony Tone, Commodores, OJs, Parliament, The Miracles, Ohio Players, Gladys Knight the Pimp, and the Gap Band. You only get four?
Oh, man. I would have to go with the Gap Band.
Gap, okay. Charlie, Uncle Charlie.
Uncle Charlie, definitely. Jackson's.
Yep. They got to be up there.
They got to be up there. I would definitely vote my group up there, okay. New Edition. And last but not least, probably Kool in the Gang.
Okay. I'm sorry, Isley. I'm sorry, Earth, Wind and Fire. He ain't put y'all up there. Ohio Players, Parliament, OJs.
See, that was trickery. That was trickery because I couldn't remember all of the names that he said.
The Temptation and the Five Heartbeats. Did you watch that movie?
I love that movie.
It is.
That movie is such a classic of what groups actually go through.
Really?
Yes. That was a classic group story.
That was my next one. Do these movies remind you of group experience?
Yeah, we had some experiences like the Five Heartbeats.
Hey, did you ever feel like David Ruffin? Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis.
I couldn't say that.
How did you become the lead?
I've never been the lead. I think Ralph's always been the lead singer of our group, and we take pride in having such a great lead singer like Ralph Tresvant.
Right.
He's smooth. He's somebody. He's somebody that he's sensitive on stage and off stage. But this brother I'm talking about, this brother can miss practice for the whole week, come in and do the steps better than everybody that has practiced that whole week. He will have all the dance steps down, have his whole persona of what he's gonna do on stage. He knows exactly what to do when he hits that stage. And that's why we have the best lead singer ever.
Do you think there was ever any jealousy among bandmates?
I would hope not. I've never seen any jealousy. They've always been supportive of me, and I've always been supportive of them. And I think that's what kept the bond with the group so strong.
Well, you didn't tell me why you got voted out. It had to be something. It had to be something going on, right? Your wife was shaking her head. She's like, yeah, something had to be going on.
Hey.
They booted you out the group.
I was too wild. I was too wild.
But you was okay, maybe you missed meeting, or the practice rehearsals.
I probably missed rehearsals. I probably missed shows.
You missed shows? God,
I missed shows. I missed everything.
Hold on.
I would miss everything. I would,
Damn, Bobby. I was trying to give you some grace. I was like, okay, maybe he was a little late to the rehearsal. Maybe he missed, a little function that we supposed to be. How you missed the whole show? You do realize, like, the people that's in attendance, like, damn, new edition. Where Bobby?
Yeah, that's what would normally happen. Where's Bobby? I don't miss shows now.
And you didn't,
unless I'm not well.
Right. Let me ask you this: you go solo. What do you think? What's the worst and the best part of a solo career, or if there's such a worst part of a solo career?
There's really no downside to being a solo artist.
Okay.
I think you once you take control of your career, once I took control of my career, it was all upsides. The music got better, the money got better. Not having to split your money.
Your 100,000 you split it 5 ways.
5 ways.
100,000, I got it all for myself.
Yes. So there's no downside to that.
How hard? Because, like you said, you wanted to kind of get away from kind of like the bubble gum. So how hard was it for you to reinvent yourself as an adult? Because for the most part, people had only seen you in that group, and they had only seen you doing Candy Rain, and they only had seen you doing Mr. Telephone Man. So that's all they knew you from. So how difficult was it for you to reinvent yourself to be taken seriously as an adult artist?
It wasn't that difficult. Once I got a grasp,
you started tearing up ish like a grown man.
When I started to really see the crowd reacting to what I was doing, it just made me feel stronger in what I was doing, what I was about.
When you saw the crowd react like that, in the back of your mind as you're performing, I made the right decision. This is what I'm supposed to do.
That's exactly what happened. That it got into the back of my head that if I didn't do this, I don't think that we would be still successful. If I hadn't went solo, if I hadn't, gotten put out the group and had to, fend for myself.
You do realize it's not often you go solo, boom, blow up. Bell Biv DeVoe go solo, boom, blow up. Ralph, boom. It doesn't happen like that. Normally you get LTD, you get Jeffrey Osborne. He does what he does. You get the Commodores, you get Lionel Richie. He goes off, does what he does. You get Harold Melvin in the Blue Notes. You get Teddy Pendergrass. He goes and does what he does. But all the members were standalones once they had to stand alone.
Right.
You realize how unique that is, Bobby? Did you ever think about that? Like, damn, it's like having Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning all on the same team, and then they go elsewhere, and it's not like, damn, that's what you had.
Yeah. New Edition, that's what New Edition stands for. It stands for, we are the super group that did the impossible.
Yes. I can't think about the top of my head as I'm looking at all these groups that I named. I don't think when you go back and look at them, obviously NSYNC with, JT, but when you go back and look at it, I don't know if they had the success like individually like you guys had.
No one has done it.
Wow.
That's the great thing about New Edition. No one has done what we have accomplished.
How difficult is it to be a star?
When you talk about being a star, what do you mean? The line being in the limelight?
Being in the limelight. Okay, you got to produce in the area which you're in. So you're a singer, you got to be able to come out with hit records. You're an entertainer also, you got to be able to entertain.
Right.
Because some people, I feel that they're better entertainers than singers. And some people I feel they can sing better than they can entertain.
Right.
But you were both. You had to be both. And you had to be lights out every single night that you hit the stage.
Mm-hmm.
The pressure to keep coming out with these hit songs, the pressure to perform at the highest level. You can't have an off night, Bobby.
No, you can't.
The pressure was the dope. Let's keep it all the way 100. I mean, love Bobby Brown down, but that's what the pressure was. The pressure was all of that. See, Shannon got to realize you talking to someone who used to be, out there doing it, alcoholic and a rug abuser. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just keep it all the way 1,000. That dope definitely made it hard. And maybe Bobby about to say that. I don't know. I watched the interview, y'all, but I don't remember this part. But anyway, let's listen to what he's gonna say.
By yourself,
you can't.
Maybe
I think that's why I say work on your craft.
Okay.
Always practice on your craft. Always be mean to yourself when it's time to rehearse.
Okay.
When it's time to get out there and do it. When it's time to get in front of people and be nice to people. I've never said no to an autograph from a fan.
Really?
Never. Ever.
So you enjoyed the meet and greets?
I enjoy the meet and greets. I enjoy being recognized. I enjoy every part of it.
Right.
Because it's who pays my bills.
Right.
They pay my bills.
But damn, Bobby, what about when you was on the sneak tip and you didn't want to be recognized? Bobby say, oh, it is what it is.
They recognize you. You have to go ahead and do it.
And you go ahead and say to make sure they don't blow the cover.
Right.
Let me ask you this. Obviously, the cars were some of the worst purchases. They probably wouldn't have been bad had you not left them.
Yeah.
So what are some of the worst purchases? Because now you got this money. I mean, you're making more money than you ever thought, Bobby.
Those were probably my worst purchases. And the house in Atlanta, Georgia. I bought this big mansion in Alpharetta.
Mm-hmm.
I bought this big mansion from, I believe, the Porn King, or once it was owned by the Porn King, and then it was owned by the Waterbed King, and then I bought it, and it was just the worst money I've ever spent.
Right.
I bought the house, put like $2 million into the house.
Damn.
And then did not live in the house.
What?
Just left it to my family, and it was probably the worst purchase I ever purchased.
You mentioned earlier that you gave a lot of your money away. You gave a lot of money to your family. You gave a lot of money to friends before you realized. When did you realize that, you know what? They're my family. They're my friends, but they're taking advantage of me.
How
far down the road were you before you realized?
I was all the way down the road. All the way. all the way in. You know, I don't regret it.
You don't?
You know, I don't regret it. You know, what I've been through in my life, I think we're all learning lessons, teaching moments that got me to the place that I am now.
What would you do different in that situation? You got to say, I'm going to place you back. You know what you know now at 56. I'm going to place you back in that situation. What would you do different?
I would put my family on allowances.
Okay. Not unlimited budgets, huh?
Not unlimited budgets. No. I wouldn't just buy frivolous things, you know, for them, you know, spoil them. And I would take care of myself a little bit better. You know, I've been through so much, you know, as far as, you know, from drugs to alcohol to just not taking care of myself. And I think I would just take care of myself a lot better.
Is it true you once bought a store for a woman because her boss mistreated her?
Yes.
And she owned the store, and then she had the boss start working for her?
Yes.
What made you do that?
I saw how he was treating her, and I didn't like it. And it was just a way of me telling myself I could change a person's life with just one check.
Right.
One check. And that one check, that lady owned that place for I don't know how long, and she had the boss working for her.
Maybe she had him treated him. Maybe she treated him
just like she
treated her.
Yes, I hope so. I hope she fired him later on.
Hold on. It says you spent $1 million. You spent $1 million in one day.
In one day.
What the hell you buy?
I bought 3 watches, 2 cars, and a house.
You didn't want to space it out? I'm gonna buy a house this week.
No,
okay, I get to watch.
The thing was, I wanted to spend $1 million in one day.
I mean,
just for the hell of it.
If you spend $1 million in a day, were you gonna be like Brewster's Million, all of a sudden get 10 million at the end of that day if you spend $1 million in one day?
No, I wish that was the case though. I wish that was the case.
I mean, Bobby, as you said, clearly you didn't think it was ridiculous then, but as you sit back here now, 30 years later, do you realize how ridiculous that was?
Yeah, I do. That's why I'm glad I got such a beautiful wife that won't allow me to do that no more.
When you told her that story, did she punch you how many times? I just want to know.
No, she.
Listen, I know we wouldn't know what to do spending $1 million in one day. But we wouldn't know what to do spending $100,000 in one day. We wouldn't know what to do spending $10,000. We probably wouldn't know what to do spending about $5,000 a day. Let's just keep it all the way 1,000 out, okay? But spending $1 million in one day is absolutely crazy. And he said he wanted to do it. That's crazy, man. That is so crazy. All right, let's keep going, y'all. Hey, everybody up in here. Thank y'all for being here. Please hit that like button for you, boy. I appreciate it.
Because you say, that's money we could have had.
She just laughed it off and said, you know, we got to work then.
Yes.
Got to work.
Right.
Got to keep it up.
What have you learned about money?
It's not to be taken advantage of. It's about knowing when to how they say, knowing when to hold them, knowing when to fold them,
and knowing
when to walk away.
Yeah,
that's what I think about money now.
Someone that's coming into money now in this industry or any industry, and they came to Bobby, what's some of the advice you would give them?
Save, invest. You can't go wrong with owning pieces of property because they're not making any more.
True.
So I would tell them to invest and buy lots of land.
We talked earlier, you're in the food service business. Do you wish you had invested more earlier?
Yes, definitely. I wish that I knew what I wish I knew what I know now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wish I met my wife a lot earlier.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I wish.
Do you ever look back and like, damn, I blew a lot of effing money on bull jive?
Yeah. Yes. If I could switch that around, I'll be the cheapest motherfucker on the planet.
But let me ask you a question though. If you could switch it around, let's just say for the sake of argument, obviously you're going to have a nice lifestyle. You're going to have your nice home. You're going to have a nice couple of cars. You have kids. You're going to take care of. But let's just say for the sake of argument, we switch that around. And now your worth is 10, 20, 15, 20 times what it is now. Are you with the group?
Am I with the group?
Yeah. Are you touring with the group? Let's just say for the sake of argument, Bobby.
Right now?
Yes. Bobby's worth
Yes.
200. Bobby's worth 250, $250 million.
I'm still touring with New Edition.
Hey, you might say, no, you're not. No, you're not. Why say she on the yacht?
Yeah, she could be on the yacht, but there's just something about touring with them.
What is it? What is it about there with
It's the brotherhood. It's
with
the
your brothers
camaraderie
and the screaming?
Yeah.
Because a lot of damn near, I guarantee you, 75, 85, maybe even 90% of the people that's in the audience, they grew up listening to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have new fans, but you have a base.
A base. The Any for Lifers are a group of people that, I mean, we cherish them.
Yeah,
we cherish them because they are diehard fans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they know us a lot better than we know ourselves.
Correct.
And it's just beautiful to see their faces when we go out there and see all of the familiar faces that we've seen over the years. They grew up with us.
Did you own a music studio in Atlanta?
Yes.
Andre 3000 and Big Boy, they recorded a song.
Yeah, they bought the studio from me. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
What made you decide to own a studio?
Not wanting to spend my budget on other people's studios.
Oh yeah, you making somebody else rich.
I was making somebody else rich by recording in their studios.
Okay.
So I bought a studio to record my own albums.
And then you let other people come in there and they pay you, and you got rich off them.
Yeah.
So what are some of the artists that came through your studio?
Of course, you know, People Bryson used to come there a lot.
Okay, yeah.
Outkast. A lot of the young entertainers from Atlanta.
Is it a still functioning studio today?
Yes, it is. But it's called Stankonia.
Oh, okay. So they still own it.
Yeah, they still own it.
Wow. You had a friend that was fatally shot. He was sitting in your Bentley. Do you remember that moment?
Yeah.
So what happened? It was mistaken identity?
No, they wanted him dead. I don't know why. I don't know the gist of what happened.
Right.
But I just know that it was just.
And you were in your hometown. You were back home, right?
Boston, Massachusetts. Yes. I'll never forget that moment. Never. 178 bullets was in the car.
178. Damn.
And I didn't get scratched once.
Hold on. They fired 178 rounds into a car and not one bullet touched you.
Not one bullet. That's how I know I got somebody watching over me.
Yeah. There are a lot of your mom and your dad, a lot of people praying for you, Bobby. That's unheard of. Wow. How did that moment change? Did you realize how fortunate you were? Do you realize like there has to be a God?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It also taught me that going back home sometimes ain't always
dangerous.
ain't where you need to be.
Because everybody's not happy for your success, Bobby.
Right.
Even though you're from a small town, I mean, they saw you. I mean, again, the way I look at it, Bobby, if we from the same small town, you had the same opportunity I had.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes it's a little different. I mean, I grew up with, my grandmother raised me. But I, for the most part, went to the same high school, pretty much did the same thing. So we all had an opportunity. Maybe it wasn't music. Maybe it was sports. Maybe it was you could have been a lawyer. Maybe you could have been a doctor. But you had an opportunity. What is it that you think that makes someone resentful of someone else's success?
I don't know. They believe that it should have been them in some form of fashion.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's mind-boggling that people tend to get jealous of someone else's success.
Right.
When you should just bust your ass and work hard to be your own successful being.
Right. You had Donald Trump in your music video On Our Own in 1988.
Yeah. I did not know Donald Trump at that time. The company, the record label had that happen.
Oh, okay. They did it.
Yeah. He was just a popular person in New York City. And it was about the Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
So Donald was in the video.
Did you think almost 35 years later he would be president of the United States?
Hell no. Hell no. That's crazy, right?
It is. It is. Acting.
Yes.
What made you want to do that?
It's a form of entertainment that I feel passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
Like doing the different movies that I've done.
Mm-hmm.
Just working with the different comedians and the different actors. I had so much fun.
Really?
Had so much fun. And it was
You like those long days?
It's a hurry up and wait situation.
Yes.
It's a hurry up and wait. You hurry up to wait for you to shoot 5 minutes of film, but you wait 4 hours, 5 hours,
6 hours, 10 hours. Yes. You out there, you might be on the set 12 hours and actually work 5 minutes.
5 minutes. As long as they're paying for them 12 hours.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm looking at some of the actresses and actors you work with: Angela Bassett, Lynn Whitfield, Regina King, Chris Tucker, Chris Rock, Jennifer Lewis, Dick Gregory, Lil' Kim. What's some of the best advice that you got while on set?
Pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
To pay attention to what the director wants from the scene. Pay attention to the script. And if they want you to go off script,
let you ad lib. Okay.
Let you ad lib a little bit,
mm-hmm.
which Martin allowed me to do in Thin Line Between Love and Hate. It was fun. It was a lot of fun shooting this different scenes that we shot. There was one scene where Martin wasn't there, and it was basically me directing the scene.
Okay.
And it's the scene where I'm in the club and I'm asking the girls, we need some dancers,
mm-hmm.
To fill up the club. So Martin wasn't there that day. So they allowed me to block that and do that scene myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a lot of fun.
Do you wish you had done more of it?
I still want to do more acting. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
What you looking to do? What's the type of role Bobby's looking to get into?
No romantic roles.
Wifey ain't going for that, huh?
No, wifey ain't going for that one. So no more romantic comedies.
Yeah.
Shoot 'em up movies. I like shoot 'em up movies.
You want a gangster movie, huh?
Gangster movie.
Yeah.
Play a gangster.
Is there a role that you turned down you wish you hadn't? You're like, damn, why the F did I do that?
Yeah, there was a movie I was gonna do with Halle Berry and Tommy Davidson, and I turned it down. And I wish I wouldn't.
So we got about 20 more minutes, y'all. We got about 20 more minutes on this. Very interesting interview, I would have to say. I mean, this is a very interesting interview. We got about 20 more minutes. I know he asked about reality TV. He's going to ask about, of course, Bobby Christina, and a couple of other things he's going to ask about as well. If you haven't hit that like button, please make sure you mash that like button. I appreciate it. Let's go.
I turned it down.
Wow. Was that the movie with Jamie Foxx?
No.
Strictly Business?
It was Strictly Business.
Damn, Bobby, what the hell?
I don't know. I was on tour at the time.
Okay.
So I was just like, I'd rather, go out here and get this money and not tie myself down at the time.
Have you ever gotten stage fright or forgotten a line?
Yes. Yeah. I've
Cut. Come on, Bobby.
I have. I think more so now, I get a little bubbly in my stomach when I go on stage.
Right.
I think because of the age thing right now. But back in the days, no, I didn't. I had no problem with going on stage at any time or doing anything on stage. But now it's just like, it's more so of a job than it being pure energy.
Right. What's your favorite memory of A Thin Line Between Love and Hate?
My favorite memory of Thin Line Between Love and Hate was probably just working alongside Martin. Martin is just he was a great director. The way he directed me, and also he was just a good friend. At the time.
Right. Did you learn anything? You see how Martin was playing too much. She put something on him too, though.
Oh yeah, she damn sure did.
You start playing with people. You mentioned obviously Martin did a great job, and you say he was a friend. Did you know Martin before you was on the set?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we knew each other.
Okay.
He had asked me to be a part of this film he was gonna do, and I was like, anytime.
Right.
And when he did call, I was like, yeah, let's go do it. And we was in Los Angeles filming, and it was just a lot of fun.
Two can play that game: Vivica Fox, Boris Chestnut, Gabrielle Union, Monique, Anthony Anderson. How was that experience?
That was hilarious. I got a chance to wear prosthetics.
Okay.
And become I was two different people in the movie. Okay. So I was Big Mike, and then I was Big Mike. But I got the chance to wear the Jerry curl and the teeth and the bumps and all kind of shit on my face.
Right.
And then I got cleaned up. So that was a lot of fun.
Reality. The Real Husbands of Hollywood. It was Nelly, you, Kevin Hart, Nick Cannon. You like reality TV?
I do like reality TV because it's open. It's open for that's scripted. It's scripted reality.
Right.
But for the most part, you just have fun with a bunch of cool cats. So that's what that was. That was just a lot of fun to shoot.
You did reality did you have another reality show, right?
I had a reality show with my wife.
Yes.
Now, and I had a past
with your ex-wife.
One with my ex-wife. Yes.
So is that what kind of got you? Because when you had it with your ex-wife, is that kind of what gave you the bug? You got kind of bitten with reality TV? Well, no, Bobby, your life was a reality, bro. And I don't know if you noticed it.
Yeah.
You see they have cameras in your house all the time, but they was following you everywhere. So your life was a reality, Bob. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, they
you were a reality show.
They basically gave me that opportunity to fall in love with you know, being truthful to myself.
Yes.
And not minding being open.
Right. Do you remember the scenes that you were buying glasses and you were dancing? You buying the glasses for your ex and you were dancing? Well, people know when you were in the store?
Huh?
When you was dancing. You remember that scene that you was
Yes.
buying the glasses and you were dancing? Do you think people got annoyed with you?
I don't know. I was annoyed after after I shot the scene. I was just like, what the hell was I thinking? What was I doing? But it was fun when we did shoot it. It was a lot of fun being a part of, you know, something like that.
Of people that have played you, who do you feel has done the best job of portraying Bobby Brown?
Oh, hands down. What's his name?
Woody McClain?
Woody McClain.
He did the best job?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I mean, that's what the fans seem to think also. But you know what? I tell you, now we're going to go back to your own stage. Bob, what were you thinking, man? You should do all kinds of stuff on stage, man.
Yeah. What?
You know, what
What is
that Birdman going.
What about it?
I mean, doing sexual acts on stage. I mean, come on, Bob.
Well, it was just something to do. Something to grab.
I mean, you could have continued singing.
To grab some attention and sell more records. You got to do.
You grabbed a lot of things.
Yeah.
Just not attention. Did you think, I mean, did you have a girlfriend at the time? Because was she cool with that?
Probably.
Was she cool with that?
Yeah. Yeah, because it was acting.
You okay.
I was an actor.
At that time. So what did you do in Georgia to make them arrest you for what you did on stage?
All I did was dance, did a slow dance with a girl. It wasn't no simulating sex or anything like that. It was just a dance.
Right.
In Georgia, Columbus, Georgia at the time, Lou performing was not allowed.
Right. Because the last person to get arrested for that was Elvis.
Elvis Presley, yeah.
So you had to feel pretty good, like, hell, they got Elvis.
Shit, they got Elvis. They got me too. Sold them records though.
Yeah. So how did that help your record sales?
That shot my record sales through the roof. Everybody wanted to come see the concert after that.
See what everybody was, what the hype, what everybody was talking about.
Everybody was talking about.
What's your fondest memories of Atlanta?
Probably the food. Eating soul food all the time.
What's your favorite soul food?
I'm a catfish and grits type brother.
For breakfast? I mean, you're not eating that
breakfast.
At lunch? Okay, I was going to say, you're not eating that all the time of day, are you?
No. So my wife won't allow me.
Okay. You were shot in the leg by your girlfriend's ex-boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell that happened?
I don't know. I was at the wrong party at the wrong time. I just shouldn't have been there.
Did you realize?
I didn't know he was out.
Okay. He was out? Oh, he was in at first?
Yeah, he was in at first.
So how did he know that? Did she tell him that I'm dating Bobby?
No, he saw me with her.
Oh. And she didn't give you hands up like, I just...
She told me to run. I ran.
But hold on.
I started booking. I didn't know I was hit until later on.
Yeah. But hold on. When you guys started dating, did she ever tell you, you know what, Bobby, I used to date this guy. He might be a little crazy. He inside right now. And let you
No, she didn't tell me none of that.
Because had she told you that, would you have made a different?
I would have chose different. I would have definitely chose different.
You'd have asked like, okay, when he getting out?
When he getting out.
Because then I can base about how much time I actually got. So what's some of the craziest interactions? Because I used to hear people tell, did you ever have a red Mercedes station wagon?
No, I had a blue Mercedes station wagon.
Okay, blue. Why you get a station wagon?
Because I had these amps and this booming system in it. And it was just nice and loud.
Normally people get station wagons with kids. This man get a station wagon to put speakers in it.
Yeah.
And
I love that car too. Oh my God, I love that car. But I did have a son at the time.
You couldn't put him back there with speakers because you had took the back seat and put speakers in there.
Yeah, you're right.
Top of the world. You were one of the biggest artists in the world. Did you understand who you were?
I had a good idea about it after touring, doing all of the countries that I basically toured from Guam to Singapore to, I mean, everywhere.
Right.
I went everywhere. And to know that people didn't even speak my language and they could understand my music and sing along with me, that was something that let me know that you've made it.
What's it like touring overseas? I hear a lot of people say, for the very thing that you said, they don't really speak the language, but they sing every single word.
Yeah.
And it's everywhere you go, it's 50,000. They're lining, they're chasing the bus and they're lining the streets just to get a glimpse, just to take a picture, just to look at you. What does that feel like?
That feels wonderful. To know, to be accepted in the eyes of the public and to be adored by millions and millions of fans is the best feeling in the world.
You were so big, you even dated Janet Jackson.
At one point, yes.
But how did it make you feel when her dad said she couldn't date a man like you? What you mean by that, Pops?
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
What do you think he meant by that? Because obviously you're in the music.
I was the bad boy. I was the bad boy of R&B. I don't fault her. I don't fault anybody.
Right.
Hey, it was what it was for the time that it was.
Right. Is it true that you almost signed with Tupac's Machiavelli?
No, that's not true.
That's not true? Okay.
No.
What about Irv Gotti?
Irv Gotti was a great friend. Him and Ja Rule. I had a great time shooting Thug Lovin', but that's another rumor that I was going to sign with Murder Inc.
That was never?
No.
So it seems to me at this point, you're more want to be independent than be with a label.
Definitely.
Would I be correct in saying that?
Definitely.
So what's your relationship with Ja Rule?
He's a good friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is he so misunderstood?
Ja, I don't know. Ja's just Ja. He's a cool cat. I don't know why he's misunderstood.
Because he had some of the great hits.
Yeah, he had a lot of hits.
Yeah.
A lot of hits.
You mentioned Irv Gotti, who recently passed away. I think he was suffering from diabetes and he ended up succumbing to that illness. What should people know about Irv?
He was a special cat, man. He loved music. He loved seeing people successful.
Right.
He loved that. He loved making sure that you got your just due. You got paid. I think for the video Thug Lovin', I got paid like $1 million to shoot it. And the top of that building coming off that helicopter was the scariest ever in my life because I'm so afraid of heights.
Right.
That it was just like, I don't think I can do this. And the wind was blowing and it was just all kinds of things going on. And I was just like, I have to nail this first take.
You don't want to do it again, huh?
Because I don't want to do it again. So we nailed the first take and
you was out.
I was out.
What can our culture, we see Irv was battling that. What can our culture do to take hypertension, diabetes, things about our health? How do we get us to take things more seriously?
We have to eat better. We have to take better care of our bodies. We have to read on a lot more on these things that are bad for us.
Right.
So we got to really take care of ourselves.
I see videos you working out. It seems like you're trying to get in front of and get in better health yourself.
Yes, I am.
Is that because obviously you got a beautiful wife, you got kids, but how much is that? Performing and just I want to be in better health. I want to see my grandkids.
I just want to be in better health,
right?
Better shape. I want to be around for a long time. I'm healthy now, and I want to stay that way. I want to get more healthy, better health.
You had a great quote. You said, you don't know you're an addict until it gets worse and worse and worse. And you're so far down the road. You didn't realize you were an addict?
Not for a long time. I think I thought I was still partying.
Right.
But I was in denial.
the projects. You grew up in the Boston projects. You have 7 brothers and sisters. How many bedrooms did that home have?
5.
Man, you were living good.
We lived fairly well. Stanley's laughing.
What was a normal day in the Brown household? Mom, pops, 7 kids.
Lots of laughter. Lots of laughter. My father was a comedian and my mother used to just tease him all the time.
Okay.
But my father was a hard-working construction worker that worked every day of his life. And Friday night, he'd give my mother that check and he'd go out and come home Sunday.
Damn.
And
that's pretty. Work hard, work Monday through Friday, get a check, deuces.
Come home Sunday.
I don't think that's going over well in today's time.
Nope.
You witnessed your best friend get stabbed at 11 years of age.
Yes.
What type of psychological impact did that have on you, Bobby?
It made me want to get out of the projects.
Okay.
It made me want to work hard at what I believed in, which was entertainment.
Right.
It really made me put the group together and strive to be the best that we could possibly be.
There was also, you had to deal with a lot of trauma. You saw your friend get stabbed. There was a situation where you were molested by a priest.
Almost. Really.
Almost.
Yes.
So let me ask you a question. How does one deal with situations like this? How does as an 11-year-old, you see your best friend get stabbed and you have the encounter where you're almost molested by a priest? How does the psychological deal with that move forward? What impact does that play in one's life?
Makes you not trust a lot. But prayer has always been a part of my life where God has always been like right there protecting me from having to go through the worst of things.
Right.
And even when I did have to go through the worst of things, just being able to talk about it and pray about it, I think got me through a lot of the different situations I've been in.
Having a 2-parent household, what did you learn from your parents?
Oh, family is everything.
Okay.
Laughter is a big part of growth and just, love. How to love somebody. And
father. What type of father is Bobby Brown?
I'm a yes man. I give my kids everything.
Do you try to give your kids what you didn't have as a child?
I had basically everything that I wanted as a child. So giving my kids whatever they want is just me just being normal. I don't let them run all over me, but my daughters probably. My daughters,
your wife shaking her head like he definitely left him run over him. How have you tried to improve as a father? Because you saw your mom and dad live in a house and they made sure the kids had, and you saw that relationship. You said you're a praying family. You saw you guys eat together. So how have your parents, watching them, how have that helped you become a better parent?
I think being present in their lives at all times and not disappearing on them.
Right. Tell us about your daughter's charity. Your daughter unfortunately very tragically passed away at the age of 22, but you established a charity.
Yes.
What is this charity, and tell people where they can?
The charity is called Bobby Christina Serenity House, and we are a safe haven for domestic violence, abused women and abused children and men. We have partnered up with Brookview and Share House in Atlanta and in Boston.
Right.
And these are places that house, women in need for, to get out of their relationships. We do fundraising. We do a charity golf tournament every year, and we do a gala every year. We didn't do the gala this year because of the fires.
Right.
We felt that it'd be really insensitive of us to try to raise money for domestic violence at that time. But you can go to BobbyChristinaSerenityHouse.org. Yeah, BobbyChristinaSerenityHouse.org. But I do it because I've seen too much of it. My daughter didn't have to go the way she went. You know, what the young man did to her is just was unbelievable. I don't want to see any other families have to go through what I've went through, or have to bury a loved one ever again.
What have you learned about life?
I learned that life is it's a long road, but if you stay positive and work hard, life can be so fulfilling.
If you can go back, tell your 18-year-old self something, what would this Bobby Brown tell his 18-year-old self?
Don't do drugs. Don't ever do drugs. Yeah. That would be my words to my 18-year-old self.
You just experimented with it and just tried it?
I experimented with it, and then all of a sudden it just became
a part of your everyday life?
Part of my everyday life.
Wow. I'm gonna get you out of here on this. I saw you dancing. You and your family was dancing to the video, Not Like Us. What do you think about that song? What do you think about Kendrick's halftime performance? Did you like the performance?
Kendrick's halftime performance was very, it was interesting.
Okay.
To say the least. Not Like Us is a song that will be remembered for a long time because of the fact that it won the 5 Grammys.
Yes.
Not because of the beef, but because of the 5 Grammys.
Right. And I don't know if people realize it's a diss song.
Yeah.
It's like No Vaseline. It's like Ether, Nas.
Yeah.
It's like Hit 'Em Up, Tupac.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I mean, it's and it might be, it could possibly go down as the greatest diss track ever.
It probably will.
I mean, you see, he parlayed that and he got an opportunity to perform at the halftime. Bobby, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Anything you want to promote?
Support BobbyBrownFoods.com and support New Edition.
Bobby Brown, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Jalisco Underground Resorts World Las Vegas, for allowing Club Shay Shay to film this very special episode here today. Keep up with Jalisco Underground on social.
All right, y'all. So listen, I gotta be honest. Again, I really enjoyed this interview. I thought this interview was really good. Shout out to Bobby Brown for being vulnerable and just having a conversation. I know we've kind of heard Bobby Brown's story several times, but I thought that him sitting down with Club Shay Shay was okay. I know I saw some of y'all in the comments saying that he should have done his research. I kind of think he knew a lot of stuff, but then I do think that there was some stuff that he could have done a little bit more digging on. But for the most part, I really do think this was one of his better interviews, at least for me, because I'm a Bobby Brown fan. So, you know, for me, it was cool. You know what I'm saying? So I do appreciate you guys for kicking it with me. We were live earlier with the Latasha Scott stuff. Y'all stuck around for 2 hours for this here. I will be live on the backup page in about an hour, and we're going to have our political hour. It will be up under an hour, or at least at an hour. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you join us over there. It is the Chef Don 2. If you would like to join us over there. Again, I appreciate you all. Thank you guys so much for being here. And I appreciate y'all for this. Tomorrow we'll go over Carlos King, Cynthia, and Crystal's interview. You know, I'm just, you know, just working, honey. Your boy is working, okay? Your boy is working. What's up? Thank you so much, Mama B. Miss Johnston, thank you so much, Miss Leka B. Moose Nuts was in here for a little bit. Miss Lori, I see you. Let me see who else. Bap, Genesis was here. There were several different people here. Ham Sandwich. I appreciate y'all so much again for kicking it with me. why we did this. And again, tomorrow we'll have another interview to go over. Again, if you're interested in the politics of it all, meet me over in about an hour on my backup channel. All right. With that being said, I appreciate y'all, and I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's Friday Eve.